In a quiet village surrounded by paddy fields and dusty roads lived a girl named Aarthi. She was only 16, yet her eyes carried dreams far bigger than her small world. Every morning, Aarthi would walk 3 miles to school barefoot, clutching her books tightly to her chest with hope glowing in her heart. Aarthi wasn't just another student. She truly loved learning. Her teachers admired her. Her classmates often followed her lead, and her dream was clear. I want to become a teacher and educate all the girls in my village. But not every dream is welcomed in silence. One evening, her father returned from the market with a serious face. "Aarthi," he said, "your marriage has been arranged. The boy belongs to a good family. Your school days are over." The words struck her like a storm. Her world collapsed in an instant. She pleaded through tears, "Baba, please, just 5 more years. Let me finish my studies." But the decision had been made. "A girl's place is in her husband's home," her mother whispered, unable to meet her eyes. The next week, Aarthi was married off. Her books were replaced by kitchen vessels, her school bag by pots and pans. But deep inside, the fire refused to die. In her new home, Aarthi pretended to adjust. Yet each night, when the house grew silent, she opened an old diary hidden in her trunk. She scribbled math equations on the back of grocery bills. She practiced English with the help of worn-out notes. Her husband owned a phone, and at night she secretly used it to watch free lessons. For her, knowledge became an act of quiet rebellion. Years passed. Aarthi became a mother, and with her daughter came a vow. My child will never be denied the light of learning. She walked her little girl to school every morning. One day, the school headmistress noticed her explaining a math problem to her daughter with ease. "Are you a teacher?" she asked. Aarthi smiled softly. "I always wanted to be." That moment changed everything. The headmistress offered her a chance to assist part-time in teaching other girls. Aarthi was hesitant, but her heart leapt with joy. Within months, Aarthi was no longer known only as someone's wife or mother, but as Teacher Didi. Mothers who once forced their daughters to drop out of school began sending them to Aarthi. The same people who once said, "A girl belongs in the kitchen," were now clapping proudly for their daughters in her classroom. One evening, her father visited, his hair now gray, his steps slower. He stood quietly at the edge of her class as young girls recited poems. He said nothing, only nodded with moist eyes. Later he whispered, "I was wrong." "I'm proud of you," Aarthi never shouted. She never protested loudly. Yet she changed the mindset of an entire village, not with noise, but with knowledge. Because when you educate a girl, you don't just teach her, you awaken a whole generation. Dreams can be delayed, but they can't be destroyed. As long as you keep learning, keep trying, and never stop believing. Aarthi's story reminds us that true strength doesn't always roar. Often, it whispers through quiet determination. Even when the world tries to clip your wings, the fire of knowledge can still burn within. No matter how strong the chains of tradition or how loud the voices of doubt, one girl's courage to keep learning can break barriers and rewrite destinies. Aarthi didn't fight with anger. She built a future with patience, persistence, and purpose. Her quiet journey soon began inspiring girls from nearby villages as well. Parents started visiting her with requests. "Can you help our daughters too?" What began as a part-time role slowly grew into an evening class under the banyan tree, where lamps flickered and children recited lessons with bright eyes. As the years went by, Aarthi's classroom became more than a place of learning. It turned into a movement. Change had taken root, not with grand speeches, but with one woman's determination to never let knowledge fade. And through it all, Aarthi stayed humble, reminding her students, education is not just for passing exams. It is for opening your mind, for building courage, and for shaping tomorrow. Let this be a message to every girl. Your dreams are valid, your voice matters, and your journey, no matter how quiet, can spark change that lasts for generations. Vocabulary list: shattered, completely broken or destroyed. Example: his confidence shattered after the loss. Whispered, spoken in a very soft voice. Example: she whispered the answer to her friend. Rebellion, resistance against control or tradition. Example: starting her own business was her form of rebellion. Persistence, steady effort despite obstacles. Example: with persistence, he finally achieved success. Moist, slightly wet or damp. Example: his eyes grew moist with emotion. Want more stories like this? Click the video on your screen for more interesting stories. Share what you learned in the comments.